We've all heard about the problems in Darfur and Israel-Palestine and the Congo and even Afghanistan, right? These are serious problems. But years ago, they were all smaller, more manageable problems that somehow grew and spread and became what they are today, virtually impossible to solve. Now, you wouldn't think it, but a similar thing can happen in people's personal and professional lives. Have you ever gotten into one of these? You know, like an argument with someone like your brother or a coworker or a neighbor that for some reason went bad, like not a little bad, but very bad, and then suddenly other people got involved and accusations and exaggerations start to fly, and suddenly you find yourself kind of obsessed with the whole thing and you can't stop it even though you'd really like to? Well, I have. I got pulled into a conflict like this with a cousin of mine that I grew up with that I was very close to. You know, it started with some idiotic spats. He owed me some money and he trashed my apartment one time, and then he would say these inappropriate things in front of my kids. And then one time he just crossed a line and we had this huge argument and didn't talk for years. And then it became so bad members of our family got involved and we just got stuck. And then every time I would even hear his name or see a photo or a piece of mail from him, or worse yet, someone would try to bring us together to talk, we'd get sucked right back into the conflict. I mean, I can even feel it right now. Even when I really don't want to get into it, I can't help it. Well, sometimes conflicts like this get really stuck. In fact, researchers estimate that about 5% of the more difficult conflicts in the world become intractable, almost unsolvable. And this happens in both our personal lives and in major international conflicts. In this video series, we're focusing on these really hard to solve conflicts, which make up what we call the 5% problem. I'll discuss why these problems seem so unsolvable, and I'll go over a few helpful ways to think about them in order to reach a solution. I've been studying these conflicts with a group of scholars for about 15 years now, and when I started, I wanted to see if I could figure out the key, the one thing that makes them so impossible to solve. And the good news is that I discovered it, the reason why these conflicts become so intractable. The bad news is that there isn't just one. I counted about 56 of them, things like personal revenge and politics and hidden agendas and religious differences and trauma, all 56 different parts of these conflicts that are very different, but they can't be separated. They're all connected. They seem to feed off each other like a system, like a living, growing, destructive system where each cause dynamically feeds and reacts to everything else. So then I decided to talk to some people who know a lot about complex systems, and I assembled a team from a broad range of fields, from political science and anthropology, psychology, and even physics. And together we've been studying these intractable conflicts as complex systems for years now. And here's basically what we found out. When you find yourself in the grips of a 5% problem and you're sure you know what to do, don't trust your senses, because there are always powerful forces that are really shaping what you see and what you think and feel and ultimately what you do. See, it turns out that these kinds of conflicts are very different from other kinds of conflicts. They have their own set of rules and dynamics that help them develop these patterns that stabilize and then resist change, so that no matter what people do, they seem unstoppable. We know this now from decades of scientific research on systems in the body and traffic systems in cities, planetary systems in space. Seeing these intractable conflicts as complex systems can help us prevent these things, and maybe, just maybe, can help us to resolve them.